Hey Knights, so this is the last 2 chapters for this story, which is pretty exciting. Yay, another one done. So chapter 54. My turtle comb vibrated on the dresser beside Leonardo's bed. Chiari lay sleeping beside me. Dressed in a simple black silk PJs that I used my powers to dress her in, because she had only her armor and her kanta on her when she got here. Master Splinter had insisted on us girls to have a room to ourselves, because he deemed it inappropriate when he found out that I had spent the night in Raphael's room, and that Chiara and Leo had shared the couch. Leonardo, the most noble of his brothers, was the first to volunteer to give up his room and sleep on the couch, till a new sleeping area could be made in the lair. The text was from April. It said, "Surprise party for the guys. I need your help. My dad won't let me walk to the lair alone anymore. Come get me, and try not to wake anyone up." I checked the time. It was a little before 6 a.m. I groaned. I hate early mornings. Don't even get me started on morning people. Trying to channel my inner ninja, I slowly creeped out of the bed. Using my magic, I dressed myself in a simple gray jogging suit, as not to seem out of place in early morning New York. Hopefully, I don't get mugged. I should tell someone where I was going, just so they don't start a search party. Walking around the bed, I gently nudged Chiari on the shoulder. She groaned and cursed something in Japanese before opening her eyes. "Where are you going?" I put my finger to my lips. I'm going out to get April. Apparently she has some sort of surprise planned. But don't tell anyone. If someone asks, just say I went up for some air. She nodded. Go back to sleep. I'll probably be back before anyone wakes up anyways. Picturing April's apartment in my mind, green smoke surrounded me, and a few seconds later, I'm standing in front of her door. The darkness of the city surprised me, but the sun should be coming up any second now. I saw a single light on in the second story. I smiled at the second time around antique shop that was placed beside her apartment. Little does she know, one day she will own that baby. Hopefully after she becomes a reporter. She saw me from her windows as she brushed her bright red hair. Her eyes widened and she quickly finished up her hair. I leaned against the rails of the steps. 30 seconds later, I heard rapid thumping down the steps inside, and then she opened the door. How did you get here so fast? I sent that text like 5 minutes ago. I wiggled my ring finger in front of her face. Beam me up, Scotty, I quoted sarcastically. What? She asked confused as she shut the door behind her. Oh yeah, no Star Trek here. I teleported. She shook her head and off. Wow, is there anything you can't do? 3 hours and a shopping trip later, me and April stepped back to view our finished handiwork. We had moved the dining table into the dojo and decorated the whole place with streamers, confetti, and balloons. A giant green cake centerpiece, the old wooden table. I can't pause, I have to restart, and I'm already halfway through the chapter. It's 2 chapters, I'll be done soon. A giant green cake centerpiece, the old wooden table. 4 sets of 16 candles on each individual turtle's masked color, that I had painstakingly decorated it with. Master Splinter had awoken a few minutes after we returned. I explained to him that it was a surprise. April pulled 3 steaming bacon pizzas out of the oven. As no pizzeria was open this early in the morning, she had decided to make them. They looked positively delicious, and I couldn't wait to see Mikey's face when he tries bacon pizza for the first time. I hit play on the laptop, and inviting music filled the dojo. Chiari wandered out of the hall, still in her PJs. Wow, I love what you've done with the place, she smiled. I didn't know they were all the same age. Yeah, though technically it's not their birthdays, it's the anniversary of the day they were mutated from normal pet turtles. But yeah, they're quadruplets, I replied. I heard someone shuffling in a room down the hall. I looked around. Everything was in place, but something seemed missing. I looked down at my clothing and it hit me. The power walking outfit simply wouldn't do. I used my powers to change into an ice blue ruffled sundress with a silver belt and simple white flats. It was pretty and only came up to my knees, so it was still appropriate for morning. Chiari and April watched baffled. I'd done this a few times in front of them already. You'd think they'd gotten used to it by now. Pleased with how I looked, I motioned for Chiari to step closer. May I? I nodded to her black pajamas. Seeing as I don't have anything else, but just my armor to wear? Okay. I placed my hand on her shoulder and focused. Tingly, I heard her say. When I felt the process completed, I opened my eyes and was pleasantly surprised at how simply beautiful she looked. The simple knee-length green and gold kimono looked absolutely stunning against her pitch black hair. Racist much? She laughed at the fact that I put her in traditional Japanese dress. I bit my lip. I hope I didn't insult her. I just thought it would make Master Splinter happy. Plus, she looked fabulous. She saw my worried look. I'm kidding, Roxanne. I love it. I rolled my eyes. April, if you want, I could. She cut me off. No, I'm good. No alien magic for this girl. Come on, Anya. It doesn't hurt, encouraged Kiari. April looked back and forth between myself and Kiari, then glanced down at her yellow jersey and shorts. You know, peer pressure is a bad thing, she stated before sighing and stepping up in front of me. I smiled excited at the task. My hand on her shoulder, I channeled my power. Soon she was in a dress that I had based off of classic April's jumpsuit. It came down to her knees and its sleeves to her elbow. A zipper ran all the way down, bright yellow with a white belt and with pockets on his shoulder and chest. It's funny how April is the only redhead I know who can pull off that particular shade of bright yellow. It's yellow, she squealed in delight. You're welcome, I winked. Surprise! We yelled as the turtles walked in a few minutes later. Master Splinter smiled behind them. Happy Mutation Day. It made me so happy to see the happiness on my idols' faces. You remembered, exclaimed Raphael excitedly. Wow, the room looks, and you girls look, wow, started Donatello in awe. I never thought I'd see anyone who looked better in green than me, Leonardo joked as he pulled Kiari into a hug. Roxanne, you are one of the greatest humans ever. Mikey nearly strangled me in an embrace. I'm flattered, but I'm not exactly human, remember? I hugged him back. And it was April's idea. I just helped, I nudged her. April set the pizzas on the table, and I think Michelangelo's eyes nearly popped out of his skull. Is that? No, it can't be. Is that bacon pizza? Soon the boys were chowing down as we all crowded around the table. Well, dude, I don't think Sweet 16s can get any better than this, Mike exclaimed between mouthfuls. That reminds me, exactly how old are you, Kiari? I never thought to ask, Lino inquired. I'll be 18 next month, she answered, eating her pizza gracefully. And you, Roxanne? Raphael questioned me. 17 and 3. And I answered only after swallowing my food. So you're both older than us, puzzled Donnie. Well, you know what they say about older women, Raphael elbowed his blue-masked brother. Leonardo sighed dramatically. Then he started singing, Older women make good lovers. Then, much to my surprise, Raphael joined in. Plus, older women know just how to please a man. I threw my head back in laughter, blushing. Kiari just rolled her eyes. What was that? April whispered to Donnie, slightly freaked out. I think they heard it on an old radio when we were scavenging a junk pile a while back, he shrugged. After the food had been eaten and the cake distributed, I decided to give my gift. Oh my god. Holy crap, Bolton. You know, it's been a while since you scared me while I was recording.
Yeah. Panic at the Disco, they made a continuation of This Is Gospel music video. It's called Emperor's New Clothes. A.K.A. Satan's New Clothes.
Okay, I'll look up later. Where was I?
Potatoes.
Out of my film.
No!
No. Okay. I decided to give them my gifts. Standing up, I walked over to the bench where I had set them. I picked up a white gift bag before walking back. My gifts inside, which I had created out of some scraps of metal using my magic. Do me a favor and stand up, guys. I have something for you. They lined up. I reached inside and pulled out 4 metal pins. What are those? Asked Leonardo. I just smiled and pinned the one with the L painted on it near the top of his chest strap. An L? He asked, slightly confused. L for Leonardo. Kinda tacky, don't you think? Raphael cocked his head. I placed my hands on my hips, now amused. Kidding, princess, only kidding. I shook my head. The moment arrived where I knew there was something missing on the turtles. I pinned one on each of his brothers, putting Donnie's on the same place as Leonardo's. But since Raph and Maki only had belts that went across, I pinned them a few inches from the knots on the brown leather belts. These buttons, they're like your logos. Just like a superhero? Mikey gasped. He hugged me. I love it. You all look adorable, chuckled Kiari. Because that's the look I'm going for every time I strike fear in the hearts of bad guys. Rav traced the R on his pin. I cranked up the volume on the laptop and winked at Donatello. He gracefully turned to April, who was still seated on the table next to Splinter. Care to dance, my lady? I've been practicing. She smiled and followed him onto the makeshift dance floor. Raphael grabbed my hand and jerked me around and against his chest. You remind me of the babe, he whispered in my ear. What babe? I raised an eyebrow, confused. Then it dawned on me. The babe with the power, he replied as he twirled me around the music. So he was awake for that part of the movie. Are you sure you have to leave now? Mikey asked sadly later that night after I explained to everyone that I was leaving. I'd love to stay, believe me. I'd considered this world my home now, and all you my family. Then, of course, my actual brother is here as well. But the universe is calling to me, begging me to come and explore it. It's a force I can't fight. There's no changing her mind. This doll has the stars in her eyes, Raphael laughed sadly. But don't worry, I'll be back, I reassured them. I hugged April first. Take care of April. Try not to get kidnapped too many times. Then, Master Splinter, I was surprised when you told us that you were only 16. Your soul and wisdom feels so much older. He patted me on the back. Then Leonardo. Lead well, my friend. Remember, turtles fight with honor, I joked out loud. Only I knew that inside joke to the battle cry he used to call out. Oh, I won't forget it, he laughed. Don't be gone too long. I'm not worried about Raphael, but I know Michelangelo is going to take it hard. He really loves you. Michelangelo blushed slightly. Like a sister, Judette. Next was Donatello. This time the tall, lanky turtle actually hugged me back. Don't worry, I'll make sure Raph keeps his pin on him. Pin on. I'm really going to miss you. You and your really scientifically unexplainable magic stuff. Thanks for everything, especially the dance lessons. Anything for my favorite scientist, I squeezed his shoulder. Mike D looked up at me with big, blue, puppy eyes. Before he nearly strangled me in a hug. You're the single greatest person I've ever met, and you are the first person to actually treat me like a person. Thank you so much for making me human. I pulled back. That wasn't on purpose. I know, but being human and joining the circus was the single greatest experience of my life. Not having to hide, the lights, the flare, it was incredible. All those people clapping and cheering for me. Yeah, the boys had been hit with a severe case of showbiz fever. Thank you so much. Chiari stood with her arms crossed beside Michelangelo, probably not expecting a hug from me or anything. Too bad, she's getting one anyways. She made out a loud oomph as I threw my hands around her back. Cautiously, she put her arms around my back. I had a feeling Chiari hadn't experienced many hugs in her life. Keep an eye on the turtles for me while I'm gone, Chiari. Don't let them get into any trouble. Watch out for Shudder. He's still alive, and knowing him, Revenge is his middle name. She grabbed the side of my head. You truly are a miraculous creature, traveler. And I don't believe I've ever said this to anyone before, but I will miss you. I smiled. Take care of yourself, Miwa. I stepped back. Excuse me, sensei? She said the last word awkwardly. My Japanese is a little rusty. What exactly does it mean, Miwa? The old rat smiled and glanced at the picture on the shelf. Miwa, my dear one, it means lotus. I gasped, my mind blew. No freaking way. She's Lotus Blossom? I started to laugh hysterically as Raphael pulled me into his arms. What's so funny? I wiped away a tear. Nothing. I kissed him. Our kiss was interrupted about 10 seconds later by the sensei clearing his throat. Oh, sorry. I chuckled before snuggling into his chest. If you meet a lizard named Mona Lisa, be nice to her. She's actually really sweet. I laughed into his chest plate. But if you meet some vulgar she-fox from another dimension called Ninjara, tell that she will paws off. You're taken, I announced jealously. I kissed him lightly before stepping back. Goodbye, he sighed. Yeah, goodbye, Roxanne. Michelangelo waved sadly. Green smoke began to swirl around me. Hey, in circus we never say goodbye. We just say see you down the road. I winked before being whooshed away. This time I opened my eyes during the travel. What I saw astounded me. Beautiful colors seemed to dance around me in the tunnel of light I was sailing through. I'm Roxanne, the traveler. The universe is mine to explore. Where will I go next? I have absolutely no idea. But you can't really get lost if you don't know where you're going. Not all those who wander are lost. Alrighty. I guess it was just that one chapter. There is a sequel to this story, like the second book to it, and it's a Buffy one, so if you guys want me to add that to my list, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, that's about it. Okay, alrighty. Peace out, Knights, until the next playlist.